Say goodbye to your job, Mike. MAGA Mike Johnson, possibly the only Speaker of the House who seems allergic to actually speaking up for the House. A speaker in title, not in backbone. If loyalty to Donald Trump were an Olympic sport, this guy would have more gold than Fort Knox. And here's the thing. MAGA leadership in both chambers can feel it. The midterms are creeping closer and the panic is very real. You can practically hear the nervous group chats lighting up. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the Epstein files. You can hide terabytes of documents, you can redact, you can stall, but what's already public? It's disturbing. And no amount of spin is going to turn that into a victory lap. Trying to claim vindication here is like trying to Febreze a 5-alarm fire. Then we had Trump's global tariff spree. The Supreme Court knocks it down 6-3. A pretty loud message. And what happens next? He immediately reaches for another lever in the Trade Act like he's rummaging through a junk drawer looking for emergency powers. Slaps 10% tariffs across the globe, revokes exemptions, taxes small purchases. Everyone gets hit. Vindictive, chaotic, predictable. And Mike Johnson? He jumps on social media to applaud the brilliance of it all, talking about leverage and America First strategy. Mike, my guy, have you read the Constitution lately? Article 1, Section 8. The power of taxation belongs to Congress. That's you, or at least it's supposed to be. A speaker is meant to guard congressional authority, not hand it over like party favors. Congress isn't supposed to function like a fan club. And voters are noticing. There was a Republican caller on C-SPAN, not a Democrat, not an activist, a Republican who said he was delighted the court pushed back, said it showed there's still hope.
Paul in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, Republican. Paul, your reaction to the Supreme Court's decision on the president's tariff policies?
Well, I'm delighted.
Tell us why.
I think it's about time that President Trump was told that he just can't arbitrarily say that there's an emergency and I have to be the one to cure it. And I think that I'm happy to see that it was a 6-3 decision. And it shows me that there is hope for the Supreme Court in the future.
Small business owners are out there saying they were bracing for disaster and felt relief when the ruling came down.
The president just ruled that, the Supreme Court just ruled that the president can no longer impose tariffs moving forward. How do you feel about this?
Well, I was bracing for the worst, and to get that, the ruling today was such a relief. I nearly in tears. I'm shocked at how relieved I am. This is big. It's very big.
That's fantastic.
That's not fringe energy. That's mainstream fatigue. Poll after poll shows Trump underwater immigration, economy, foreign policy, but the Epstein issue, that's on another level. People are Googling a lot. And when your name is the top one linked to that search trend, that's not exactly a re-election slogan. Meanwhile, we're seeing troubling reports about enforcement crackdowns, cover-ups, and growing public distrust.
ABE, anything but Epstein.
Take a look at Google searches for Epstein. In fact, in the month of February, it is higher than it's ever been. Up like a rocket, up 900% versus a month ago. And the top name associated with Googling for Epstein, well, it is Donald Trump. What is the worst issue for Donald Trump of any of the major issues? Look, he's underwater on immigration, foreign policy, the economy, and tariffs. The Epstein case, though, is on another planet. Look at this. Negative 39 points. The Epstein case is not the story the Trump administration and Trump in particular and Republicans at large want in the news because it is a big political loser for.
Add inflation, stress, AI fears, tech billionaires flexing like Bond villains, and people feel like the system isn't working for them anymore. And here's the bigger point. This isn't just about being anti-Trump. That's not enough. Voters want something for them. A vision, a direction, not just resistance, but rebuilding. Working people are exhausted. They're working longer hours for thinner margins. Housing costs are crushing. AI threatens jobs. Tech oligarchs consolidate power. And regular folks look around wondering who's actually on their side. That's why the conversation has to get bigger. Not culture war distractions, not performative outrage, real ideas, big ones. If the problems are massive, the solutions can't be timid. People don't want a dystopian future run by 5 CEOs in a crypto chat room. They don't want permanent underclass energy. They want dignity, fair wages, housing that doesn't require a miracle, an economy that rewards work, not just luck. And here's a hard truth. If democracy can't deliver material improvements in people's lives, people will start looking elsewhere. That's the risk. This moment feels like a fork in the road. Either we double down on accountability for everyone, rich and powerful included, or we send the message that some people are untouchable. And once that line gets crossed, trust in the system erodes fast. You can already see cracks. Even in deep red districts, people push back on data centers draining power grids. They question endless spending priorities. They're not thrilled about policies that feel imposed instead of built. Imagine if the energy used to intimidate or posture was redirected into building, housing, infrastructure, jobs. Imagine federal resources aimed at lifting communities instead of escalating chaos. That kind of agenda wouldn't need spin, it would sell itself. At the end of the day, this isn't about one personality. It's about whether government works for working people or for an elite club that protects itself. Midterms aren't just a scoreboard. They're a mood check. And right now, the mood is restless. People want accountability. They want stability. They want opportunity. And they want leaders who remember which branch of government they're actually in. The panic you're sensing in certain corners of Washington, it's not random. It's the sound of voters waking up,